let's invite the huge and lovely, great round of applause, our international guest for today, Mr. Rich Fontaine. Let's have a round of applause.
Pleasure to have you with
Let
us.
me, share some
Thanks
words
for
about
having me
him.
out. Yeah.
Let me share some words about him. Rich Fontaine, he is a certified international speaker. He is
I am about to go live in India, so it's really cool. You guys get to check out my behind the scenes of this. So I will let you hear my speech.
So, there are not many things, but let's get things unfolded from the man himself. So, I give it to you, the man himself, Rich Fontaine. Yay!
Welcome, Rich. It's a pleasure to have you.
So good to have you.
It is a pleasure to be here, and thank you for inviting me and getting me involved in such a tremendous, outstanding, phenomenal carnival for speakers. So thank you. And today, I know the subject is a word, a special word for the audience. And my word to you is, you are a seed. I was reading the book from Paulo Coelho called The Alchemist, when the young boy asked the king, "What is the world's greatest lie?" And the king responded, "At a certain point in our lives, we lose control of what's happening to us, and our life gets controlled by fate. That is the world's greatest lie." Meaning, your life is not these circumstances. Your life is the decisions that you choose to make. The world's greatest lie is to make you feel small. The world's greatest lie is to make you feel insignificant. The world's greatest lie is to make you feel unworthy when you are more than worthy. You are it. And if you ever have that feeling that you're not on your way, but you're in your way, or you have that feeling that you're not on top of your game, but you're barely on top of your bills, that feeling is the world's greatest lie. Meaning that you can't handle it, but you can handle more than you ever can begin to imagine. Again, you're not a loser. Again, you're not wrong. Again, you're not failing. You're just a seed. I remember when I thought I was failing. I grew up to two parents that were raised in the small island of Haiti, that moved to Brooklyn, New York, where we didn't have much in resources, where my mother used to have to heat up hot water in the stove so we could take warm baths. And I remember hating taking cold baths and showers, so I would go to school barely scrubbing myself. And that's when the kids used to make fun of me. They used to call me Rich the Dirty Kid. And I remember one day I went to a teacher. I said, teacher, they're making fun of me. They're saying I stink and I'm dirty. And she said, Richard, why don't you go take a bath? And that started me on my low self-esteem, where I started becoming a thief. I stole clothing just so I could have the name brands the other kids have. I remember feeling so bad about myself that I would get into fist fights with other kids. And I became a misogynist because girls didn't like me because I was the dirty kid. But I fast forward to you now, married to a beautiful woman, where she's going to have my very first child, driving a Lexus IS 250, graduating with a bachelor's in civil engineering to work for major corporations like Universal and Disney, living in beautiful Orlando in Baldwin Park in one of my dream condos that I wanted since I was a child. How did this happen? I went from the seed to the tree. Now, Rich, how do you go from the seed to the tree? First, you have to bury yourself in the dirt. Sometimes you have to see the darkness. Sometimes you have to see the lack before you see the abundance. But when you are in that darkness, you have to take time to look inside yourself. Look yourself in the mirror, in the eye, and say, maybe I'm not doing all the right things. Maybe I'm not always acting ethical. Maybe I'm not getting enough education. Maybe I'm not taking enough chances and more risk. So you have to figure out who you are, and that's in the dirt, that's in the seclusion, that's in your cocoon. To figure out who you are, you must surround yourself in an area of seclusion. But number two, once you're in that darkness, in that dirt, you have to cultivate your seed. That means you have to add nutrients. That's why you have to listen to positive speeches, positive books, to author Sherry, to more great speakers, to motivational tapes, and positive articles and positive books to show you that you're not just the seed, but you have to cultivate that seed. Number three, that little sprout has to break through, meaning you have to take massive action. You have to push through all that noise and that density of that dark soil. So every day, do something special, do something more, do something new. You have to push yourself out of that darkness and into the light, which leads me to number four. You have to understand that life is always shining on you, like the sun does to the sprout. And you have to embrace life, embrace that power. You have to embrace the world with love. And once you can embrace life, life starts to embrace you. And number five, that seed, that sprout needs time to grow. So we have to be patient. The bamboo tree takes almost 5 years for it to grow, but it grows massively strong when it does. So in this moment, if you're not feeling that you're at the place you need to be, keep cultivating, keep breaking through, keep embracing life, keep embracing the sun, and then be patient. And then one day you're among all the pine trees, and you're one of them. And you could probably be one of the largest ones in your forest. So whenever you are down on yourself, whenever you're not feeling great, remember, you are not a loser. You are not failing. You're not unworthy. You are just a seed. Thank you very much.
Wow, wonderful.
Wow.
That was
Amazing.
It's excellent.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Friends, did you notice how did Rich Fontaine started his speech? Anybody? Let's interact and learn from Rich. Rich has been an expert. So, yeah, how did he start it? Anybody would like to comment? Oh, come on.
I'll take any comments, any questions, everybody.
Yeah, you can ask any questions. But Rich, what I'm trying to tell them is that how to start and
Thank you, everybody, for watching this lovely performance.
Rich, why don't you help us? How did you start and end the speech? Yourself. It would be great to hear.
Sure. And I hope you don't mind. I'm actually doing one of my lives at this very moment. So we have audience watching me as well. So please check out author Cherie's Speaker Carnival live from India. It's amazing. It's incredible. And I thank them for having me. And I'm just going to show them a few things on speaking. One of the things I did is I started my speech and ended it the same way. I don't know if anyone noticed that. I started with calling you the seed, and I ended it with calling you the seed. That is a technique that I've learned from various speakers and Toastmasters, also from the Les Brown Institute where I trained in. One thing that if you ever watch a great comedian and they do a great performance, Kevin Hart does this. He starts his show and he ends the show the exact same way. It kind of creates a 360. So the point of your speech has always in the forefront because you always want to give the audience something for them to take away. And the one thing you could take away from my speech is that you are a seed. So I start my speech and I end it the exact same way so it reiterates the major point of the speech. Because the worst thing you want is to somebody to leave your presentation and not fully taking in what you are trying to relate to them.
Fontaine, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I met Les Brown in 2014. And I remember his favorite dialogue is, "You have the greatness within you." So there is any favorite dialogue which you always repeat to yourself, or one liner? Is something, some song, that we always repeat. So what is your favorite one liner, maybe affirmation or something?
My favorite one, actually, I've started this years ago. Hey, Sonia, sorry I didn't respond back to you. I started my own mantra. It is, I am good enough now, and I'm getting better. I'm good enough now, and I'm getting better. The reason I started it is because, from coming from a person with very low self-esteem, you have to try to create and understand that wherever you are, you're fine. We search so much in the future that we say, okay, I'm not where I'm supposed to be, so there's something wrong with me. But in reality, you're perfectly fine. You're just in the process of getting better. So when I say I'm good enough now, I put self-esteem in myself right now and know that there's always areas to improve, meaning I am getting better. So that's my mantra. I'm good enough now, and I'm getting better.
Lovely, so sweet.
Awesome. Guys, let's show some love to Rich Fontaine. There's a reaction button. And let's click on there and put a heart. Click on a heart. Let's have some hearts for Rich Fontaine.
Thank you.
I love you, Rich Fontaine. Really, when you came last time, we were really looking forward and so excited to have you. And thank you so much for your, special time, because every word makes a lot of difference. I can see so many books, in your backyard, in your background.
Yeah.
And today's topic is also about the words.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I think whenever you are sharing something, there are not many words coming out from you, which is actually a synopsis of all those books which you have read.
100%. 100%. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and I also request you that please stay here for at least few more time, because I really want that you see few of the speakers from India.
Yes.
We are gonna talk on a particular topic, and we really, they need your presence for at least some time.
Absolutely. I'll stick around. I can only stick around till about 10 o'clock because I do have a meeting.
What time is it right now?
It's about 9:45, but...
I can tell you a trick. You can just, use that watch and just...
Turning into a time machine, yes.
Don't discuss it with me when I have a copyright.
Okay. But all in all, thank you everyone for, I hope that speech touched you, and I hope that you understand that you are good enough now and you are getting better. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Hearty gratitude. And Sherry, sir, over to you.
Thanks for the value you have added. It was great learning, great session, great speech. Wonderful to have you as always. Thanks for all the insights you have shared. Follow Rich Fontaine on Facebook. He's on a mission to create 365 Facebook lives this year.
Yes.
And he's already on 239.
Yes.
So consistency is the name of the game, and he's just following that. So kudos, and thanks for living your mission. Thanks for being who you are, Rich.
Thank you. You too, Sherry. Thank you for what you do for all those people that are watching you. Thank you.
Yes. So guys, now.
So thank everyone for watching. I hope that speech served you well.
The title of the movie. It's upcoming.
And I hope that speech served you well. It was one of my favorites, The Seed. And I hope that... and Sonia, I'm sorry I didn't answer your question. How do I get started? Just DM me. You got to DM me, and I could give you some better answers. But I hope that speech touched you. And I've known Sherry for a little while now, and so I'm speaking to people over in India. I get to speak to people over in Africa through this internet. So even though some people don't like doing the Zoom calls and internet, we're becoming a global economy, and we get to touch the world, so it's amazing. So definitely do your thing, and don't think in limitations, but think of expansion. Love is love, and I appreciate all of you. Namaste.